So what happened? Okay, so just back to the example of the person who makes 80 grand a year and has got $37,000 in credit card debt at over 20% interest. How does that person get out of that? Like, what happens to that person? You said it puts enormous stress on the marriage, on the body, every part of your life. But can you get out of that much debt if you're...
we have people pay off hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. Every week they come on the show doing what we call a debt-free scream. Wonderful, wonderful stories. There's like 2,000 of them posted on our YouTube channel of people doing debt-free screams over and over and over and over again. And what they did, we asked them, what'd you do? What'd you do? How'd you do it? When we told you to get on, and first thing they do is they get on a budget. They lay out a plan. Because if you were taking over a company and the company was in trouble, you'd come in and look at their financials and you'd go, okay, what's going on? What's going on here? Why is this thing failing? Why did I buy it at a nickel on the dollar? What's going on here? And so you'd immediately start doing a simple analysis. And really, here's the interesting thing. You don't have to be a math genius. As a matter of fact, sometimes the people that aren't math geniuses do a lot better at this stuff because they just sit down and they look and go. I had one old country boy. He came into one of our small group discussions in Financial Peace University one night, and he said, we discovered why we ain't got no retirement. We've been eating it. He had $1,240 a month average on restaurants. And he couldn't figure out why he couldn't fund his kid college fund and couldn't figure out why he had no retirement and couldn't figure out why he couldn't get out of debt. Because they're living in a stinking restaurant and they had no money. And they're spending money they don't have. And, got an $800 car payment on a truck. And I'm like, God, man, how much is your house payment? $700. Dude, if your truck payment's bigger than your house payment, you might be a redneck. I mean, seriously. So we get, we've had a lot of fun discussions with people, but basically what we tell them is get on a written plan. The two of you together, husband and wife, have to be committed to this. And then you go on scorched earth. No eating out, no going out, no vacations, take 6 extra jobs, sell so much stuff the kids think they're next. And let's get this thing moving in the right.
Sell so much the kids think they're next.
I said, put the cat on Craigslist and the dog on eBay. One morning on national television, PETA started picketing me the next day. So, cause they don't have a sense of humor. I was a joke, but I love my dog. I'm not putting it on eBay, but anyway, you just change the numbers because usually they have enough money coming in to turn the corner. Usually. Maybe they got to sell the truck to get rid of the $800 payment and get you a $4,000 truck. And maybe you're running Uber or delivering pizzas or mowing grass or the number of people that have 4-year college degrees that have elected to become maids or open a commercial cleaning service and clean toilets because the money is really good for a short period of time to get their mess cleaned up so that they never have a payment again the rest of their lives. People will fight to be free if they believe they can. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when desire comes, it is the tree of life. So when you believe, people will they'll chase the gates of hell.
Where's that quote from?
Proverbs.
Can you say that again?
Hope deferred makes the heart sick. Hopelessness. But when desire comes, it is the tree of life. When you believe, then you'll charge the gates of hell with a water pistol. You don't care suddenly what your broke friends are laughing at you for driving a hoopty because I'm getting out of debt, because I'm going to change my family tree, because my kids are not going to have to live the way I live because I'm going to pay a price to win. When you get that thing going.
Oh, yeah.
I've had it going. You get the tunnel vision, and you and your wife, you and your husband are both doing that. You work, and the thing is, you don't have to drive a junk car the rest of your life. You don't have to work an extra job the rest of your life. It's 18 to 24 months, and most of these people are out, everything but their house. And so it's a period of time, and you're not going to die from hard work. Right before you die from hard work, you pass out. It's okay. You're not going to die from hard work. It's a short period of time. It's a sprint. I don't want people to live their whole lives like that. But instead, they're living their whole lives just kind of in this malaise, stuck. And so our whole thing is to shake them and say, you can do this, and show them and give them hope and make them believe they can do it. And the neat thing is we've proven it millions of times now.
So you don't think if I'm deep in credit card debt, it's not a good idea to get a couple more credit cards and use those to pay off the first one?
Yeah, the way we get out of a hole is we dig out the bottom. No.
I know you've seen that though a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the debt consolidation programs.
So what about that? So
Well,
people who are deep in credit card
You're
debt.
moving your debt to a lower interest rate, but interest rate wasn't your problem. Overspending was your problem, and not living on a plan, because no one plans to be stupid. No one plans to be broke to where they can't breathe, where their chest is tight, where there's a tear in their eye on Friday because they know after I worked all week, this check's already gone. No one planned. That's not a plan. That you fall backward into that. You don't walk into that with knowledge. But when you start running a plan, it changes everything. It turns the corner. And so people can do this stuff. Again, we've seen it so many millions and millions of times now.
But there are all these services that advertise to people who are in hopeless credit card debt. We will consolidate your debt.
Mm-hmm. Well, what happens when they do that? I'm sorry, I got off track. You move your debt over here, and you don't change your habits of spending more than you make, and so the debt grows back. And so the people that the people that do lending, there's two types of debt consolidation. There's these services you see on cable TV, right? And that's not lending. All they do there is tell people not to pay their credit cards for 6 months, and they'll take over all these defaulted accounts and negotiate them for pennies on the dollar and try to walk you out that way. In the meanwhile, destroying your credit worse than if you'd have filed a bankruptcy. So that's a complete freaking con. But
is it really?
Oh, it's nasty. It's a nasty business. And the one that
why? What's bad about it?
Well, because they're current on their credit cards. They could have paid their debts off. And instead, their method of becoming debt-free is quit paying payments, destroy your reputation, your credit, okay, as if you file bankruptcy, right? And then after your credit cards are 6 months behind, credit card companies will take 25, 30 cents on the dollar for that. And so these companies will go in and go, okay, we'll pay you payments at 25 or 30 cents on the dollar. And they set up a new payment on the reduced amount and knock it out in, 1/3 the time, right? And so, to me, if someone has the ability to pay their payment, they should pay their payment. It's a moral thing to me, an ethical thing. I don't like that they got into debt. I don't like that they got duped by an industry that's out to slit their throat. I don't like any of that, but you signed up for this. You're like a grown-up, like student loans. So you need to pay it, and we can show you how to pay the whole stinking thing. If you can pay the current payments, I can get you out of debt. I don't have to destroy your reputation and put you in the deadbeat category, so to speak, in order to do that. The other kind of consolidation loan is an actual loan where a bank will loan, say, a second mortgage or a home equity loan. And, we'll take all the credit cards, $37,000 worth of them, make it a second mortgage on the home. And now I have a lower interest rate on the total $37,000, pay off all the credit cards with that loan. And now we're going to pay that second mortgage down, and it's a lower interest rate. So hypothetically, you would think you would get out of debt faster that way, but you don't change your habits. You just moved the debt, kept the habits. So we keep going out to eat. We keep going on
No,
vacation.
I get it. Yeah. I get it. But just back 2 clicks to something you said, and I admire your integrity on the question of repaying loans that you signed up for. I get that. On the other hand,
if you can,
but on the other hand, another way to look at it would be, if someone's addicted to drugs and it's a voluntary thing, I'm buying fentanyl every week or every day. On the other hand, the person who's selling me fentanyl is also a criminal, And so I've often thought if ever were to retire, maybe I would start a political movement, a new party in the country where the whole purpose is to bring the banks to their knees and shut them down, or just you encourage everyone who's deep in debt to stop payment. Mm-hmm. Like, how about 100 million people stop paying their car loans, their mortgages, and their credit cards? And then in the same way that Donald Trump once said, if you take a big enough loan from the bank,
it's their problem.
It's their problem. You're kind of in charge of the bank at that point. I would think it'd be kind of cool to do a crush the banks political party where you just all of a sudden everyone stops payment at once. And then, then you sit down with Jamie Dimon and renegotiate. Yeah. What about that? I kind of like that.
Well, there's other implications to that.
I'm sure. Look, I know nothing, but I'm acting out of hostility in my head.
I appreciate it, but it's I would rather punish them incrementally.
Yeah,
and just let the demand for their horrible product dry up over time.
Yeah,
and let that be reflected a little bit at a time in their stock price instead of one morning in their stock price. One morning in the stock price, all the banks are broke. Feels a lot like 2008. And that's a pretty chaotic.
There are a lot of downstream effects.
Pretty chaotic situation for the world.
No, I think
if all the banks go belly up in day one. I don't mind the idea that they become less profitable over the next. No, 20,
I get it. No, this is why you're a responsible person and I'm not. But it is
why I'm not in politics.
It's this revenge. No, I think you're taking the long view, which is you don't want to wreck your country just because there are some bad actors who live within its borders. I completely agree, and thank you for being sensible. I'm not sensible. I'm just mad. But just one more question on this dark little thought experiment. That would bring the banks to their knees like day one, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It'd be fun if you did it for 20 minutes just to get their attention and reset the American mindset. Now, that might be cool.
I think I'm going to do this.
If you did it 1 month, for 2 months, we don't pay payments. Now, that would not destroy the world economy. But never we're going to pay them again, and you get 50% of the public to do that. Yeah, you could screw up the whole world economy with that one. But no, I don't want to do that one. But for 2 months? Yeah. Again, though, it's a little bit like student loan forgiveness. Student loans, there's no question that our federal government and the banking industry has duped now the third generation into going deeply in debt. No question about it. And their parents stood by and signed the note with them. I agree. These, quote, young adults who are old enough to do whatever else they can do. They can sign a contract legally in any state in America. To do anything else, we call them adults, whether they emotionally are or not, we can argue, but they signed up for this. I had a student loan. I signed up for it. It was not, it's a little small one. It was back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, but how
much was your student loan?
$3,500.
Actually?
Yeah. $3,522 when I paid it off. Yeah.
Wow. Was it worth it?
No. The only reason I did it is I could not figure out any other way because no one ever, and even in those days, and that was so long ago. I mean, this was 40 years ago, 45 years ago. It was a different mindset then even that these things are dangerous. And now it's like, well, you're not allowed to be a student without a student loan. It's completely come the other way to where you're some kind of, like paying off your mortgage, you're some kind of moron if you don't take out a student loan. Of course you have to take out a student. It's assumed. And again, we've shifted the cultural belief system to where parents don't tell a kid, hey, maybe you should go to the local college that we can pay cash for instead of going across the state line and the family goes $125,000 in debt. So you get a degree in sociology so you can make $38,000 as a caseworker with the state. This is not good ROI. Maybe the parents need to step up.
Nuts.
And go.
But I don't understand in the whole debate over student loans why the beneficiaries of these loans, which are not the students, are never discussed. They have no skin in the game whatsoever. This whole system exists to benefit colleges and universities.
There's no question.
And they exist not to benefit students, but to sustain these massive payrolls of administrators, DEI people, a lot of dumb people, and then the professors, most of whom are totally evil.
Yeah.
And no one ever suggests they should pay some of the cost of this.
I don't disagree with it at all.
Like, so how does that work?
Here's the thing. I resent as a taxpayer that a politician says I should pay for the forgiveness of students.
How about Middlebury College? What these?
I'd be fine if they did it. I'd be fine if the endowments that are billions and billions and billions.
But they already pay high taxes on those endowments.
Oh, you're killing me.
Oh, wait, they don't pay any taxes, right? So Duke University, which is totally filthy, and it's actually colleges like that are one of the reasons our country's falling apart. Where do you think all these ideas come from? Anti-human, anti-civilizational, anti-American. They're all coming from those campuses, and they're not paying any taxes at all. Right. We're subsidizing them. And then when their scam gets exposed, we have to clean it up.
Yeah. So
how does that work?
So when a politician says, I'm going to forgive student loans, I have sympathy and empathy both for the student loan borrower that's in up over their head because they got duped. And they're an adult and they signed up for it. And so the same thing's true of our bank discussion.
I get it.
You signed up for that car payment.